welcome to the channel or welcome back to the channel. My name is Hen and this is Crafting from the Broom Closet, and today I am going to be binding my mini internal journals into the cover of my actual completed journal, so they'll round in to the middle like this. Now I'm going to be using a freehole pamphlet stitch to do this, but I'm going to be doubling it up, mainly because I want these to be held quite securely. I could glue them in. Don't want to do that. I could use double-sided tape. Don't want to use that, because I don't think it will hold it firmly enough. And because my cover is actually quite a bit taller than the journals, I'll turn it this way so you can see. I can't use the normal methods of holding it into place, which would be things like this or like this. So I'm going to have to use some sort of tape to hold it into place while I sew them in. Right, for starters I need to take out the inserts that I put into this one to demonstrate how they would sit. So I'm going to take them out first because I need full access to where they will go. Hang on, where's the middle? I'm going to take the pages out. There's one pile and a second pile. These were only a temporary insert just to show you how they would work anyway. And then I need to figure out how to place these and where I want to place them. So I want them pretty much central. Let me just turn it back round that way so you can see, because you can't see when it's up and down. So I want them pretty much central. So I want them roughly the same at the top and bottom. And I think that's about right there. And the first one will be right up against this fold. Remember, if you watched the video earlier when I've put a stiffener into the spine, so it's a little bit stiff, so the fold will be where it wants to go up against. So if I place that one in first, then I can work out the spacing of the other three. Don't know what that cotton is. So that looks roughly centralised. Yeah. I'm going to just use some washi tape. I've just picked out one that I'm not overly happy with. And I'm going to stick it in place and hopefully it will stay. If I can find the end of the washi tape. There we are. Oh, I went for spring sort of coloured nails today because we are in spring. Yesterday was the 1st of March, although officially spring doesn't start till 22nd. I think it's the 22nd on the equinox date. I need to check for this. Look, pretty sure it's 22nd or 23rd. It's a movable one. So what people don't realise is the equinoxes and the solstices are movable, because they're to do with the longest day, the most sunlight and the least sunlight and all that palaver, and therefore they do move slightly. Oh, that's not straight anymore. I shifted it. So let's move that back over to that line. This may be an issue. I don't know if this is going to hold it, because now when I lift it up, yeah, that's what I was worried about. Wonder if I turn it the other way, whether it will hold it. Because I don't need the middle to be clear, because I'm not sewing down the middle. So normally when you're binding something, you'd bind it on a fold. So I was binding, I'd bind on the centre fold, centre. So to bind on that centre fold there. But because this hasn't got a centre fold, it's got a fold and a fold, I won't be binding on the centre fold, if that makes sense. Move that, take that out of the way there. Let's pop you in there. Now, will you hold this time? Probably not. No. But holding better than it was. That's going to annoy me. Maybe I need some masking tape. I just won't lift it up. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. So now I've got that up against that fold there, yeah? Oh, no, I haven't. It doesn't help that that crease isn't so defined here on that side. Where's the fold? Now I've got it up against the fold. Yeah. Got it up against the fold there. So I'm going to close this up to that point. Yeah, that's definitely not going to hold, is it? Oh, have I got some stronger tape that isn't going to ruin my background? Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to be very naughty. I am going to use some of my double-sided tape. And I'm just going to put a little bit on each end because I think that's how it's the only way I'm going to get them to stay where I want them to. So where's my double-sided tape? There it is. Hopefully this will work. I'm going to put a little bit there. Oh, there. Come off. I stuck it to my fingers. Not a good plan. Come on. Nope, nope. There we go. You can't even see what I'm doing. A little bit there. I want it under the elastic, really. Now let's see if I can get it to hold in place this time. Because that masking tape, not masking tape, washi tape really wasn't working, was it? Just scrunching that up and throwing it in the bin before it gets all over everything. Okay. Right. So now I've got to peel the backs off. Let's make sure they're rubbed down properly. I'm just going to use my fingernails today because it's only a small area. Now, we are experimenting together, people. See, I don't need this to stick permanently. I just need it to hold in place while I sew. And maybe I should just sew one at a time and worry about lining the rest up after I sewed the first one. See, I didn't rub that down. It was peeling away the sticky. Was not leaving the sticky behind. Still not leaving behind the sticky. Might be because it's on a ledge there. Come on. There we go. Move it out of the way. Now let's get that into place again. This is where I have to be really careful. I won't have the opportunity to shift things about because I'm using the sticky tape. Let me make sure that crease is firm so I can see it on both sides. Because at the moment I can see it at the top but not the bottom. That's better. Right, now line it up roughly central. About there. think that's about right. Pop it down like that. Pop it down like that. I think it's just this painted surface it doesn't want to stick to. Because even that's not holding in place. No. Okay. Well, there's my answer. I'm going to have to sew one in at a time and not and line them up after I've sewed them in. So, I have cut out a template of that middle area where I'm sewing through. So I've cut an inch width, and it's the same height as this. So now I need to figure out where I'm going to stitch, and I want it to be along the edge but not quite in the crease. And I want it to be roughly well, I want it to be quite even. So my first thing is to fold this in half, and that makes us know where the middle of this area is. And then I'm going to actually fold it up by about an inch. So now I've got my points of where I want to add stitches. So as long as I line this up like so, all of my stitches will be the same height. Now I want to figure out where I want them in respects to each other. I don't want them in line with the elastic. So I do need them this side of the elastic. So if I actually put that underneath the elastic, ooh, I can see better as to where I want the holes. Let's put you central. There we go. And I get my pen, or a pen, or a pencil, or something that I can make marks with. Anything will do. I'm trying to find a sharp pencil in a strong colour. Because not all my pencils are as sharp as I'd like them to be. So we know now that we want it here. So that's the other side of that elastic, see? And it's on that fold mark. And make it a reasonable size dot. And we want that one here on the side of the elastic. Now, what I need to work out is, well, let's just do it by eye, and hopefully it will be a straight line. Hopefully it'll be a straight line. Because the lines will be seen on the outside of the journal. Okay, so I'm going to use them as my marks. I think that one's off the line. No, it is on the line. I'm going to use them as my marks. I'm now going to use my pokey tool, which I have put somewhere. It didn't go back in its box where it's supposed to be. Bear with me, I'll just look for it. Okay, as you can see, while I was off pause, I did put a bit of that tape back down just because I'd noticed that it shifted slightly while I was looking for the poker tool. And this is the important part where we don't want it to shift. So I need to put the poker tool through that dot, all the way through the spine, like, I'm just lifting it up, not putting my fingers anywhere near through where it's coming through. I'm just lifting it up, and there we go, that's gone through now. And I'll show you on the last one that it's gone through. Do the middle one next. See the pocket opening there as I do it. mean, that has gone. Oh no, it hasn't gone through. Oh, now it's gone through. And then this one here. The middle one is the one I'm going to struggle with the most by the looks of it. And then we'll go to this one. And then this one. The middle one, the one I struggled the most. There we go, I'm lifting it quite high up. Yeah, that's gone through fine. And then the last one, and I'll show you on this one how it, you can see it's gone through the other side. You will feel it anyway. Oh, go through. See, it's struggling. But there you can see it's come through at the other side. And you'll see I've made the holes. And hopefully you'll be able to see them in the camera light. So there we go. So that's now ready to sew. What I'm going to do is take this template out of the way, because I will want to use that on all of my other things. So I just try and get the holes lined up evenly. And then we get a piece of thread. And I've already threaded this, but we want it, I've threaded the needle on this. We want it about 2.5 times the length. And I can do it from these holes. I don't have to do the full length because I'm not going all the way to the top. So 2.5 times that will be 1, 2.5. And you can go a little bit more. You can go 3. I've gone nearer to 2.75. Cut that off. Don't need to put any knots in this one. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go through the middle one, all the way through and out the other side. Oh, you can do like me and move it so you can see if you're lining it up the holes, which are there. Because it did move. I didn't want it to move. This is why normally you would use bulldog clips to hold it in place, but because, like I said, this is so much taller, I can't do that, unfortunately. I'd have to have really long bulldog clips, wouldn't I? Or really long paper clips. But luckily, I've got a bit of a manoeuvrability that I can do that. And then we go either back through the bottom one or back through the top. It doesn't matter which way you do. I'm going to go back through the bottom for this one. She says. Make sure you can see. Yeah, you can. I'm going to go back through the bottom one, and I'm going to pull it through like this, and I'm going to then see where the bottom one is on this one. I'm coming through. Don't let that go all the way through. Oh, I see what the problem is. Do not let that middle one go all the way through. You need that in the middle to have a tail. That's why they say 2.5 or 3 times what you need. I may have needed 3 times on this one. Or I should have done all the way up to the top, the full length. I think it'd be fine. I think it'll be fine. And then we're going from the bottom all the way to the top, or if you've come through the top, come from the top all the way down to the bottom. And we'll go through here, like so. I actually got a lot of spare space over there. And that's cool. Come through, come through. It's not letting the tail through. There we go. Through that one. Okay. Yeah, I should definitely have gave myself a bit more string to play around with. But let's give some, take away some of that slack that I've got going on. It should be fine. There we go. And then I'm going back through the middle here. And hopefully, there we go. Try not to break that string in half. Try to go to the other side of it. Oh, she says, she goes straight in through it. Oh, move it over, there we go. So if you go to the side of it slightly. I'm doing this so cat-handedly. Cat-hand, is that a British term or is it elsewhere? People don't always get my Britishisms. Oh, look, see, this is where I didn't want to happen. What I didn't want to happen, I've almost pulled the string through that I need to be out here. So I'm going to, before I push that needle all the way through, oh, I think it's too late. Hang on, let me just check. Can I bring that string back through? Yeah, that's what I thought had happened. I've accidentally pulled that string through. What I'm going to do, I'm going to pull that through. And then I'm going to thread the needle with this end and push it back through. Oh, because I don't want to have to start that all over again. Where's my needle threader? Do not lose the needle either. Let's put the needle there. There's the needle threader. Oh. Yeah, try not to let your thread pull out. Keep an eye on it. And give yourself extra long tails. I'm going to do that for the next one. I'm going to make sure I've got an extra long tail so I don't have this problem again. Pull it through. There we go. Hopefully I've got enough there that I have the manipulation. Yeah, I do. Just about. Make sure that's pulled through and doesn't yet. Don't let that come through. You can always put a bit of tape down to stop it from pulling through, if that makes sense. So we're going through this hole. And you want it to go the opposite side of the string to the one that's already through. That makes sense? So the string that's here, this middle string, the elastic's getting in my way. That middle string there, we want it to go the opposite side. So that you've got one string one side. I'm going to pull this through. The other string the other side. Like that. Do we understand? Yes, we do. And then we want to pull that tight. And because I've done this so loosely, I'm going to have to do a bit of manipulation. Let me not lose my needle. Where did I put it? There it is. I'm going to put my needle somewhere safe so I don't lose it. Put my needle thread over there. Now I'm going to have to, all this slackness that I've got going on here, I need to get rid of. So I'm going to pull that tight there. And I'm going to pull that tight there. And hopefully we can get rid of the slack. There's a lot of slack going on. You want this really tight. So there, look how much slack I've got going on there. So let's pull that tight. Yeah. And then let's pull it tight from here. Right, see how I've got no slack now, and then I should be able to pull that through there. There we go. See how there's really no slack there? And that's how you want it. And then we put it tight and tie a knot. And do a second knot. If you were just normally binding this, you would then leave that, you could leave the tails there. Because it's not an all binding, I'm going to trim them off quite short. There we go. So that's actually now bound in. That's now stuck into my thing. But I want to do it, make sure it's really secure, and that's why I'm doing it this side as well. Plus it will hold that tape down that keeps that coming off. Washi tape is great. It's not permanent. It's not designed to be permanent. This time I'm going to do... The strings got caught under my chair. Right. This time I'm actually going to do a longer piece of string, so I don't have that problem that I had before. So I'm going to do it the full length, because before I was just doing it hole to hole. I'm going to do it the full length, 1, 2 and a half, and that should give me a lot more to play around with. You could do it 3. I'm going to do it a little bit more than 2 and a half. I'm going to cut it here. So I added an extra couple of inches. So probably nearer to 3. Then we'll thread the needle. Like so. Really need to get my glasses fixed so I can see what I'm doing. I lost the screw for the lens. And I thought I had some cheap, you know, them £1 reading glasses that had a screw in them. No, £1 reading glasses don't come with screws in them. So I need to go to the opticians and get them fixed, I think. It's a quick job. I just haven't got round to doing it. Right, so let's see if we can do it this time without messing about. Hopefully now that's all lined up, these should be much easier. So if I go through there, it should come out the hole I've already made, she says. Or not. Because I can't go straight, apparently. Why are you not going out the hole I made? Sorry, I know you can't see what I'm doing. Let's just manipulate it again. It might be because I didn't make my hole big enough. There we go. So it's coming out. Yeah, I need to make them holes bigger. I just need to make sure I go through with my pokey tool a bit further than I did. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to make my pokey holes a little bit bigger with the pokey tool. Like so. And then my needle should be able to find them much easier. There we go. Let's go through a bit deeper with the pokey tool. Okay. So like I said, tight in the middle. I'm leaving quite a long tail here, see? I recommend you do that. So we're going to go back through this hole here. The local kids have just got home from school, obviously, and they're making a lot of noise in the garden, having fun. Yeah, I live in a very family-orientated area with lots of young children. My kids are grown up. Maybe I should move out. Don't want to. Too much hassle moving, isn't it, people? I only have a 2-bedroom house anyway, so it's not as if I'm taking up massive amounts of space I don't need. Plus, my grown-up children, for some reason, one in particular, keeps moving back in. So if I move out into a one bedroom, where's he going to move to? Maybe that'd be a good idea. No opportunity for them to move back in. Except if I do what I did when they were kids, and I'll give up my bedroom so they can have a room. Oh, come on. It's not cooperating, is it? Pull that string to one side. You know what it is, because I didn't make the big hole, remember? Let's pierce that hole a bit bigger so I can get the needle in. I don't know how much the microphone is picking up the children. They're being very boisterous. So I'm on the back of my house where the garden is, and they're in one of the neighbouring gardens. I mean, it's a couple of houses down because neither side of me has got young children. We've all lived here so long that our children have grown up and returned. Although next door never had children when she moved in here. She moved in as an elder resident. Okay. Back for I'm really being cat-handed today. Oh, see what I've done? I've done it again. Oh, that's a nuisance. I left a big tail and then I messed it up, and it was no longer a big tail. And I've got to thread it back onto here. And now I've lost my needle feather. Oh, see, I need to be more organised. There it is. Back on the needle feather. Back through there. Oh. Pull it through the needle. Come on, thank you. And pull it through the hole. Hopefully I won't mess it up this time. And I want the thread either side of this string in the middle. There we go. Let's pull them tight. Let's make sure nothing's slack at the back. That's fine. That's all fine. Is it slack? It needs a bit tightening here. Come on. Pull that tight. Yeah, that's much better. Right, let's pull it tight. So I'm double knotting this, just to make sure that knot is really secure. And there we go, we have that in place. That is now very secure. I'm going to cut that string quite low, like so. And then when I see how it's bound in now, it's not going anywhere. You can pull on it, it's not going anywhere. Now I'm going to do the next one, and I'll probably do the rest on my own without any interruptions, without feeling so things. So if you want to line that up right up against the edge there, like that, make sure it's, oh, you can't see, make sure it's all lined up. So I'm going to use the original paper cover as a template to line up rather than the actual tabs, because they might not be the same height, and they're not. So I'm lining up the green with the yellow. See? I'm going to pop that in there like that. Oh. And then I'm going to get my template. Do you know what I didn't do with that template? And I will go and do it now. Where do I put my template? Oh, there it is. I need to make sure which way up it went, because it might, even though I folded it, it might not be exactly the same. So I think it was that way, because I think if I line it up that way, it's not going to line up. Oh, lining up with the bottom, line up with the top. Are they lining up with the holes that are underneath? I can't tell. No, I don't think they are. So let's do it that way. Let's see. Oh no, look. See, if you look closely, I don't know if you can see, when I line up this with the top and the bottom, you see how that hole there is not lined up? Now if I flip it the other way, top and bottom, that hole is more lined up. So I think it goes this way up. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an arrow there to show me that's the top, so I don't have this situation with the others. So let's pop that back down there. Oh, remember, line up the paper, not the tabs, because I wasn't precise with my tabs. Then putting my thing on like that, lining that up with the inside paper, making sure it's centralised, and then getting my pokey tool they're getting really loud out there. Let's just make sure that's still straight. Yes. Oh, let me use some of that tape to hold that in place, because it's not, I don't want it sliding all over the place. There we go, like so, and like so. Oh, come on, tape, play ball with me. It's really not good tape, this, is it? Sorry. Well, I'm going to start the middle ones, seeing as they're the hardest ones to do. Why are you so far over? You shouldn't be that far over. There we go. Yeah, that should be right. Oh, see what happened there? It slid. definitely slid. Don't want to do that. Let's move that back out. Push it through. There we go. This is why I wish I left something. I had something I could poke in there that would hold it in place. If I had more than one poker tool, that is what I would do. 2. Oh, that slid. Hopefully I put that other hole in the wrong place then. 3. Oh, it says I push it down, it's sliding up. So hopefully that's still in the right place. That's a feel. Yeah, that's still in the right place. Okay, cool. She says. Did I not poke that one? There we go. Right, I'm going to push these quite far through now. So I've got the needle points right. That's definitely not lined up, look. How did I manage that one? Let's bring you down a bit. I'll close that hole up at the back. And bring you down a bit. I think I just didn't poke it through. There we go. Oh. Oh, has that moved? No, that's lined up. That's fine. That was lined up. Oh, confusing myself. Push that far through at the back. Oh, I didn't do a hole here either. That's why I've made that hole massive now. Let's put this back on. I did the middle ones and didn't go back to these ones, did I? There we go. There it is. That's got through at the back, yeah. So what I'm going to do is well, that is right up against there. That's what I wanted, really. 1, 2. I don't know if that's going to work. Yeah, because once that's open, it'll be fine. Well, something isn't right, because there is a hole there, which is completely off. That one's right. At least that one looks right. How did I manage to do that? Let me get my bit of paper and line up these holes. Hole, hole, hole. So the hole should be here. I must have just gone through really crooked from the, yeah, so I don't know where how that ended up there. We'll get rid of that hole. That's more like it. That one's there. That one's there. So they're all up. They're all good. Let's get rid. See that hole in the middle there? Don't need it. Gone. Gone. Barely. Oh, I've got 2 holes there. Get rid of that one. Gone. And you can barely see that hole there. So I'm going to come in here with that one. There we go. These middle holes are the ones that don't want to cooperate, aren't they? They're not lined up. Hey ho. I'm not a perfectionist queen, clearly. If I was, it would be all going all over the place. Oh, do you know what? I made them holes, but I didn't make sure my binder, but my thingy was right the way up. Hopefully it was. Right, where's my thread? A needle. I need to do my thread a needle. I'm making my job so much harder. 1, 2, I'm going to do 3. I'm going to make sure I have plenty of string. Okay, we had a really loud motorbike go past just then, so I threaded the needle off camera while I let that go past. And here we go. We have middle, middle. I'm going to go top, which is that one there. See, they're not lined up at all. I don't know how people manage to get it so perfect, but they do. Go on, top, top, go in. Thank you. And then through the top there, go on in. I can't see what I'm doing at all. I think that's through. Yes, there we go. Top there. Look, see how much of a thing I left on it this time? Hopefully, I won't have the same issue. In fact, let's use some of that tape to hold it down over here. I've just taped it down just there. Hopefully it won't be a problem now. And then I'm going to go to the top all the way down to the bottom. And it's this hole. I want to go through. That hole's in the wrong place. I can see that from here. That hole's in the wrong place. Into this hole here. Like so. Put it all the way through. Come on. And then back through the middle. I'm going in the wrong place. There we go. Did it go through? No, it didn't. Of course it didn't. That would make my life so much easier if it went straight through, wouldn't it? And then we're going through the middle. And I've noticed that middle is right on the spine. Right on the fold. But that's fine. There we go. One at the other side of the string. So, like so. Pull you through. All the way through. Come on. Thank you. Put my needle somewhere safe. And drop things. Make sure everything is tight. I think that's all tight. Tight there. Tight there. Awesome. Tie the knot. And the rest I am going to do off camera, because it's so much more stressful doing things on camera than off. And show you what I've done at the end. Chop that down. How much I've got left over? This is the problem. You end up wasting, but waste not, want not. I now don't have to worry about. Well, I didn't have to worry about the tails on that one. Right, be back in a bit. Okay, so all sewn in now, as you can see. All tightly sewn in. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All tightly sewn in. So I can now hold my up by the cover, and they're not going to fall out. What I have noticed though is when I close it up, they're a little bit too close to the edge of the cover for my liking. So all I'm going to do with that is I'm going to refold the flaps. I've got enough elastic spare, I believe, so I'm just going to bring the flap out a little bit further, like so. If I have to add more elastic, I will. I just want a little bit of more wiggle room on the edge of the cover there. What am I about? Yeah, it's a bit over this way. So you can see, so I've just brought the flap out a little bit. Pop that on there. Oh, I will definitely need to add more elastic, and that's fine. I'll do the same on the other side. Open up the flap a little bit more. This one didn't have as big a flap, so I don't have as much wiggle room. But I should have enough. Yes, I've got enough. Trying to get it pretty straight. Does it have to be perfect? No, it doesn't. So now, when I close it up, you'll see that the cover has a little bit more overlap, so I'm not having to worry about the lack of overlap. I mean, it may have been fine as it was, but I just want to give that a little bit more wiggle room. Obviously, I need to replace the elastic now, because if I try to do that up, it's just going to pull it in like that, and I don't want that to happen. But that's an easy fix. That is all I'm doing for today. Oh, let's have a flick through. So we have spring, summer, autumn, and winter, all nice and securely attached to the cover. Woohoo, see? Thank you for now, and see you soon. Bye bye.